Go.
Oh, over one.
Hello, everyone.
Let's see if I can. I'll let you know when your stream is up.
Yeah, it says live.
It's gonna take a minute for YouTube to be like, oh shit, it's time.
Let me turn this down just a bit.
Oh, here we go.
Look you in the eye.
Are
I
you
like this
anxious?
song.
I am anxious.
Alright.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We're gonna give this a minute. Entertain yourselves.
Oh, Spencer's here. There's his little princess.
Hello.
You there? Hi.
I'm logged into Oscar's channel. I gotta.
I have a crush on Winnie. Think she will go out with me. You never know.
Let me turn it down. Sorry, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Chrissy Hine just got really loud.
Let me figure it.
Let me figure it. You guys know how I do it. Happy Sunday.
Aw, I love you too, the Learn Identity.
I love you.
I love you. I would never hang up on you. You're too much of a sweetheart.
This is kind of special, Kayla, because you and I haven't. This is the first time we've had a chance to talk in about a week.
Yeah? Because everything's just so crazy. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hold on, I'm still figuring it.
We can all just sit and let the people file in. All the precious princesses. And the Duke.
I can't see the chat right now, so.
Where's the audio? I don't hear any cats! Ain't that fucking sweet? You can spend the time with your fucking friends and your fucking family and your 94-year-old grandmother. You fucking cut me off when I called earlier. Ain't that cunning? Oh god, there
Alright,
are
we're gonna
so many.
get started here in just 1 second.
When I called earlier,
Oh,
ain't that
shit,
cunning?
hold on, we're in a loop. Woo!
Who is the best cocksucker in this chat? So-called cocksucker.
Who's the best? So cold.
Cold. Oh god.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I don't know why this isn't showing up on my. Oh well.
The Lorn Identity says that he's the number one so-called cocksucker. Hey, Page Master.
Hello,
Kelly is
everyone.
number one. Kelly is number one. Ask Dan Allen. Oh
Pew
god.
pew. Let me handle some business here.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
Wouldn't be a Bapsby stream without it.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So, we don't really have too much of a plan, other than if you like listening to me and Kayla run our flappers, you're you're in for a treat.
Hi, time.
Clubba, precious little princess.
Oh god.
So I get a lot of questions. It's really exciting because Kayla Marie Armstrong. Yes, it's my precious little princess. I get a lot of.
Marie Armstrong.
It's a little exciting for me. I have a lot of people that enjoy my channel that seem to be new to Lornography, and it makes me feel good. Like this is something I want to keep going for a whole long time. I like it a whole lot. And I get because there are some things that are a little confusing or hard to understand.
Yeah.
And oh, hold on. Pew pew.
Pew pew.
And if you have not been on one of my streams before, everybody gets a wrench until somebody fucks it up for everybody else. Okay?
So don't be that guy.
Don't be that fucking guy. Please.
Or else it'll just be me and clobbering time and
Yeah.
like 3 other people.
I'm a trusting person.
Hey, Euro.
We have this beautiful photo of Lauren. This was a photo. Pew pew. I think this is the picture when
Of him in his apartment,
Kayla said he looked hot.
Yeah, you look hot.
You look hot. That shirt makes you look hot.
And then didn't he like stand up and like show his ass cheeks or something like that?
I don't know if this is the same one.
He's like, "You want to see my bot real quick before I go?"
So, my bot.
My bot.
Your brother just walked in and gave me a look. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to have a conversation about a whole lot, starting maybe way back in the beginning and working our way. Yeah, and I initially was going to do like a video where I was going to explain to the best of how I understand it, everything from the beginning until now. But I thought it would be easier pew pew, and more fun to engage others in this conversation, because there are things that I don't know, and if I'm getting it wrong, you can pop right in the comment room and you can
be like, "Babs, you're fucking wrong.
You fucked up, Babs."
That's fucked up. You don't care enough about me to get it right.
You don't care about us.
About us. Yes, 13 years in Lornography is stronger than ever. Lauren should be like crawling to us by now because the whole community is like 13 years old.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Hi, Patrick T. Cap, Ireland, Montgomery, Jeffrey Waters, Dale Earnhardt, thanks, Tony B, Eric, Smeared Off Twisted Green Apple, Scotty B, Clubba,
the gang's all here.
Everybody. A Gringo T-Rex and a poop-eating Shih Tzu.
That's a fun name.
Welcome.
Hi, Archvile!
Archvile!
My buddy Archvile's here.
Babst and Babstlet. Hi, David. So, we're gonna just run our mouths. We have a loose outline of what we want to do, but if you have a question,
it's a question.
It's a question. If you have a question, put it in the comment room.
That sounded less like Jeff Stacy and more like Marge Simpson.
I know. Listen. I've got a very limited catalog of voices. Okay. And they're all pretty much the same.
Oh God.
Before I start though, if you think about it, when I'm out and about, and I am certainly not complaining. I'm back to work. And oh, hold on. Hi, Harvard Blue. Pew pew. If you're out and about and you see them poor fools at the grocery store that have to work, or at the pharmacy, I always say thank you. It sucks kind of being out there worrying about getting something, but I'm not really that worried. But I always say thank you. It's not like it did kind of make me laugh when I went to CVS the other day and it said heroes work here, and I thought, I guess, but I'm being a dick. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm at work.
Not gonna get too political here, but you could treat them a little better if you're gonna call them heroes,
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm waiting for my combat pay. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, heroes work for R.C. Moore. Fucking right. That's absolutely right. I'm so bummed I had to stop kissing my pharmacist on the mouth.
We all go and kiss our pharmacist.
I do I do take a moment and say thank you to the little kid that cleans the carts off at the Safeway. The special boy that always says hi to me at the Safeway, and he cleans the carts. Take a minute and be nice. All right, so in the beginning,
Heroes get fired from Nestle. Oh God.
In the beginning, there was Lorne.
Yeah.
And Lorne lived in Maine. And his brother had a septic company. Lorne claims it was his company, but I believe it was his brother's company. Does that
Probably,
sound,
yeah.
that sound right? Probably.
Probably.
The co-ops are at my door. Oh, no.
I don't even know it, Nick.
Heroes deliver water and donate the bottles to the homeless shelter after being told to by the catfish.
Lord is septic.
Yeah, right. No, I don't think it was Roy's company. It was one of his more successful brothers. Yeah, if anybody knows which brother it was, I don't know. There are a lot of things that I don't know. There are a lot of things.
I've done a little bit of research about his septic company when I did a live stream about Lauren a while ago, and I think he had the business address as like his home address or something like that.
Yeah, it was like either his or his brother's, or it's one of those things like, and my dad is one of those people, like he's a business owner, and I'm making air quotes, you can't see it. He's a business owner.
I can't stand your dad. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But it's like the dude don't have a driver's license in the state. He doesn't pay taxes. I mean, it's all this like under the table weird bullshit that is probably illegal. I don't deal with it. I don't deal with him. But I feel like he walks around saying, I'm a business owner. I'm a small business owner.
And then he doesn't even like contribute to society like other small business owners do.
His business apparently is talking about all the Mexicans in the neighborhood. So
so he's like Lorne, being like, my neighbors are Mexican.
Yeah, and then when I remind him that his granddaughter is as well. Anyway. So, we're just going to skim over all this. He, like Lorne did. We're going to skim over. Yeah, he got hired by Betty to come out. His company got hired by Betty and her husband to come out and hook up a washer, I think. And he can be a charming person, apparently. And they were talking to him about the need for upgrading their home.
And Lorne, without thinking twice, was like, I can do it.
And committed to this job.
Which he was way in over his head with.
Washing machine. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, even if he genuinely wanted to do the job, instead of taking Betty's money and just running, it's very obvious he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah. And I think they hung out for about a month. There's a lot of information about this online if you look it up. If you go to Temple of TCAP, there's a lot of great information there. I go on there occasionally. I don't really comment or lurk on there too much, but there are a lot of great things that are on there. But when it became apparent that he was in over his head, and I believe what was going on was he was being encouraged to continue asking them for more money, and Lorne would go to Betty and Eric and say,
I need more money.
We need lumber, or the trusses you got aren't the right size. We need more money. And at a certain point, they thought, this doesn't seem right. And he would give them these, there's images of these receipts online. He would give them these scribbled up handwritten receipts, just real hinky funky stuff. Who was the one who saw the doctor's dink? Jerry Anthony, let me say I love when you come on here.
You
stick to it, buddy.
The other day I was live streaming Ramona calls, and the amount of times that Lauren is like, that goddamn doctor, you always bringing up that doctor, and Ramona's like, Lauren, I haven't mentioned him once this entire time.
You'd be talking about, yeah, so when I had to change out my colostomy bag, I bet a doctor did it, didn't they?
It was the call when Lauren was like, that doctor touched your fucking knee. I was like, what?
What?
I was like, why is he so mad?
How'd you like seeing the doctor's dink? Every time Jerry Anthony leaves a comment, I hear it in my head. I just absolutely love it. We got Roy Mirosan here. We got Delali here. So
the game's all here.
When it became pretty clear to Lorne finally that he was, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he believed he could really pull this off. But as usual,
but he's Lorne.
Because Lorne is the type of person, he's like, I can be a country music star.
He half-asses it.
I can build a house. I mean, if
I
just quit smoking, I probably could have finished building that house.
But, I mean, in theory, kind of, because he kept taking, like, smoke breaks, like, every half hour or some shit like that.
I mean, Betty, there's a great interview with Betty that Sam Pendleton did, if you haven't heard that. She mentions that, the Three Stooges would sit outside and smoke.
I love Betty.
Report at 9 and smoke and have lunch and then maybe hammer a couple nails and smoke and then go home. And at a certain point when it was clear to Lorne that he was in way over his head, and Lorne claims, give Lorne no benefit of the doubt. Yeah, you're right. I apologize. I'm sorry. He claims that his siblings took most of the money. I
can see that though. Because I mean, what did he have to show for when he was in like during the time of the thing? He had an apartment that had like no furniture except for like a computer chair and a desk and not even a bed.
He did have an ashtray.
That's true. That's an expensive purchase. That's the essential house item you need.
Yeah, a desk, a computer desk, a chair, maybe a blanket. If you have a dog, maybe
bud hair,
pizza crust, bud hair underwear. That's like no, don't get me started on Big Sam and stop. Don't. Bud hair underwear is like one of my favorite things ever. But anyway.
I ain't bringing you no pizza.
So, hi, private area. So, Lorne skips town and he decides to go to Nashville, Tennessee because it has always been his dream to be a country music star.
And his plan is
he's
go karaokeing.
Yep. He loads up his truck. There's some other stories out there about scamming somebody else, selling. Lorne always says this, I had to sell my house. I put $86 million into this house.
But I sold it for $6,000.
For $5 to the person I was buying it from. I always love that one. I had to give away all my tools, but the story that I heard was that he sold a truckload of tools to someone, let's say for $500. The guy goes to get rent a truck at Lowe's or something, comes back, and the truck and the tools are gone. So, hi, Victoria. So he gets every little.
I thought he's been scamming people for a really long time, honestly.
Yeah. He's not. I mean, he's stupid, but he's cunning. He
is cunning in certain ways.
Excuse me.
So, like when it comes to making a country music career, he's fucking stupid. But when it comes to scamming out some people, he's got that good old country boy charm.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't know him or know anything about him, I could see how you could fall for his line of bullshit. Because
he's spectacularly good at like you said, if you didn't know him, he'd be like, my family was so abusive to me, and I was wrongly accused of going to see a child. shit like that.
Yeah, she used her female powers, and fuck him. So he goes to Nashville, and as you mentioned, he's got a computer desk, and a chair. He doesn't have a bed. He lives in this shit apartment that they don't even exist anymore. They destroyed these apartments, which makes me so sad. How exciting would it be to go to Lorne's apartment in Nashville and see the semen stains all over the walls and the counters? What would you pay? What would you pay for something like that?
$5.
This is a $5,000 value. What would you pay for this?
I would pay. Let's see. It's an $80,000 value, and I will pay $5 for it.
You can see the actual semen stains from our Lord and Savior.
Who would what? You walk in and there's just like a tumbleweed of bud hair.
Yeah, Nick, you don't. So, the first thing Lorne does, I'm going to imagine, is get a job. Because when he met Kayla, he had a job. Unfucking believable. And then he spends his evening drinking Bud Lights and trolling the country music chat rooms.
Yep.
The Bud hair underwear would be like the Shroud of Turin with skid marks. Oh, David. So he meets Kayla Marie Armstrong, and we all know that story. Hi. You cheated on me before on a coffee date. I remember the coffee date.
You went on a coffee date with that goddamn underwear model therapist.
Yeah, so Lorne, it was in Nashville. I believe it was 6 weeks before he got caught. He was there a couple weeks before he started talking to Kayla.
Wow, he went somewhere new and then immedientely ruined his life.
Yeah, I think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, seriously, but I think he was there like 6 weeks. He went through. He had
2 weeks without Kayla, and then the rest was him being a fucking disgusting human.
Yeah, 2 different jobs, 3 different decoys. Well, he attempted to talk to 2 others. 6 weeks, 2 jobs, 3 decoys, 5 years in prison.
Something I noticed that always makes me laugh is whenever you would look at the chat log, he'd be like, only 5 more years, precious, till we can get married. And they gave him 5 years in prison.
It's almost like you couldn't write it. It's so, pew pew. He's such a clown. He's so bad. Like, he's just a terrible person. It's hard to believe this person exists. I know I say this probably every time I'm on a live stream. It just blows my mind that this person exists.
He's such an enigma and like a contradiction, because he's so fucking stupid, but there are times where he's cunning.
Yeah. David has a good point. He had never successfully lived on his own for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was convicted. I mean, I believe he spent 5 years in prison, though. Doesn't he?
I think it was like 5 years and then like time served or something weird like that.
Yeah, I don't really read his legal paperwork, but that's why we're here, so that people can tell me to shut the fuck up about fucking Dan if I'm wrong.
Dan's jeans. Somebody the other day asked me if I had to pick between Mr. Cybersqueak and Dan, and Dan's jeans, though. Have you seen his bedazzled jeans?
And the tool belt.
Exactly, the tool belt.
I don't know. It would be hard. It would be. What if Mr. Cybersqueak wore Dan's jeans?
You know what? I'll have to convince him to do that.
Yeah. Okay, it was the kitty porn conviction. Okay. But he spent 5 years in prison, is that correct?
I think it was.
That's sort of what I'm wondering about, like his timeline.
And he has that 8 inches cock, while Lauren has the 8 centimeter cock.
You know what? I think one of my favorite Dan lines is when he's trying to antagonize Lauren, and he was talking about, I'm going to take your girl, and he goes, then why is she on my stick, motherfucker?
Yes. Oh, it's not a fucking joke.
Shut the fuck up about fucking Dan. Oh, fuck. All right. So
Lauren meets Precious Princess.
Lauren spends his years in prison filing his 2255s, trying to get his plea agreement overturned. The plea agreement that he signed promising not to
contest it, right?
Right. He spends that time trying to overturn his plea, learning the guitar, writing a couple children's books, writing Taken Abroad.
I just don't understand how, like, just how clueless or, like, oblivious you have to be to write children's books.
But see, I think that's part of his... It's almost like his way of proving that he's not a child predator, but he can't see how awful that looks, what he's doing. He thinks, you know what? I'm going to write a children's book, and everyone will think that I care about kids. And then I'm going to donate to St. Jude.
Oh, we know he cares about kids, all right.
Yeah, I mean, that's how his brain works. I'll write a kid's book, and everyone will see how much I care about kids.
I wish he would have taken... Was it Ramona who told him to just stop giving a shit about what everybody on the internet said? Because if he really stopped being like, oh, I care too much about my image, like if he'd be living in his trailer, not having people call him all the time, he'd probably be doing something decent with his life and just doing his own thing, you know?
Listen, the judge told him at his most recent legal proceeding, what you did is so heinous that there are going to be people who are never going to like you or never going to forgive you. There is nothing that you can do about that.
Yep.
It's just the way it is. I donated St. Jude. Most authors don't masturbate while writing kids' books. T. Davis, you there?
You there?
So, Lauren actually is a better person when he's in prison, I think. The prison letters that I've read, he's always talking about, you know, all the things he's going to accomplish, his Tai Chi and he did, I mean, he wrote a book. I've never written a book. I'm a pretty smart fucking person. I've never been able to sit down and write a book. I've never had 5 years of doing nothing, though. Other than watching my ass.
He couldn't... The thing is, I wonder why he didn't realize it wasn't the smoking that got him to not be a country music star, considering he spent like 5 years in prison not smoking.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about living with himself, being able to live with himself. Leah, one of the weirdest lines was, Mr. Penis wants to protect children so no other penises are around them. Lauren did Tai Chi. I don't believe he did Tai Chi, but he wrote about how he was going to learn Tai Chi, which I found so hilarious. Just
the image of him doing that is really funny because he's shaped like a barrel. So
right.
He'd probably just topple over.
So
he'd just topple.
So when he got out, somebody, I want to say he got out in, let's see, he went in 2007. So he would have gotten out in 2012. That sounds right to me.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Hi, Cade. Let me handle my business. Hold on. Pew pew.
Pew 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 pew.
So he gets out and he's quiet for a couple years. You sound so sweet. Hi, Wendy. And then
He goes back to Maine.
yeah. And while he's quiet, there is this beautiful thing happening on the internet. There's this community that's growing around him. And they had no contact with him, and it's funny because most people say the same thing, and I wonder sometimes like how this happened, like how did all this come together? Because I cannot remember. Lorne was so like I don't remember him from the show. Like I
don't
now,
either.
but I can't recall like the first time that I saw Lorne. Like. You know,
I think, weirdly enough, I remember like everybody else from the episode except for Lorne.
Yeah, I really the one I think I remember more clearly was Bald Beaver Hunter, just because he was so like bizarre, like
yeah, it just
you know, like laughing and like wee, you know,
and then of course,
therapist. Oh yeah.
That's the one I remember. Just,
But, you know, over the years, after he got out, we were all sort of drawn together. I didn't get into this until, it must have been 2016 or 2017, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
And by the time Emma contacted Lorne, and there were people contacting Lorne, writing him letters and goofing on him. But nobody had really heard anything from him. Coke and cork down your fucking throat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was in the Air Force. I always forget about that.
He was, and I can't remember what he did. It disgusts me.
I think he was like a truck mechanic or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't in the Air Force, but it makes me sick that I mean, I was in the Army. I wasn't in the Air Force, but it makes me sick that he was in the military at all. Like, how did he? I don't know how long he served. If anybody has that information, please let me know. I want to know what his job was. Even the Air Force made him ride in the landing gear. I mean, I went to school. You know, when I was in the military, I went to a school that had all the branches there. I have a lot of respect for all the branches of the military.
He was building a church for the Air Force.
I feel awful for any airmen out there that are listening. I apologize on Lorne's behalf. He should have been thrown out immediately. Can you just imagine? I know he was in Alaska.
He probably thought he was going to get mad pussy in Alaska.
Yeah, you know what, Archvile? That's a good idea. I had thought about that, doing like a Freedom of Information.
Oh, shit. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, because you can get that. You can get somebody's DD-214.
That'd be like a new piece of
let me write.
Piece of the Lorne puzzle.
Let me write myself a note here. Hold on.
Just find Lorne.
I recently sent for mine, so because like an asshole, you know, when you get out, I know I'm digressing to something. I'm like moving to something else. I'm sorry, but I'm scatterbrained today. You know, they tell you when you get out, like, don't lose your DD-214. This is the only copy you'll ever be able to have. And of course, what did I do? Like immediately, like a month later, where the fuck is that DD-214? But I found out there's actually a VA representative I'm gonna go and get mine from. But anyway, nobody gives a fuck about that. I want to know what he did in the Air Force, how long he was in, where he went.
I'm amazed he even passed the ASVAB. Honestly.
I am too. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all I had to say about it. Like, I mean, I think when I was in ROTC, we took like a mock ASVAB or something like that. It wasn't like the hardest thing in the world, but it wasn't easy.
No, it's not. And I mean, I don't think you have to be a genius to get in, but they base like the job. You know, like if you want a certain kind of job, you got to have a decent ASVAB score.
Yeah.
There's a guy around where I live that claimed to be a Marine until he mentioned that he had been dishonorably discharged.
Oh,
So he tried the I was a Marine, I fought for you with a couple jarheads. Oh, I bet they beat the ever loving piss out of him. They don't fuck around.
they don't. No.
You were stationed at Fort Meade? You have to
Oh
what
shit.
was your MOS if you don't want to tell me in the comment room, send me an email, babsby@gmail.com, because you might have been doing the same shit I was doing. Anyway, where was I? He got out. The Church of Cod was formed with all these people. Some still around. Most I don't think are. There's like old school people you hear about that I've never talked to. Hi, Johan. Lauren's favorite TV show is Small Wonder. I bet he wishes. I bet he wishes he had one of those robots, like one of those little kid robots.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I did. I was a '98 Charlie. So enough about that. So Emma gets into this, and I'm speaking from. She's done interviews about how she got into it. She's talked about it before, the same way we all do. Lauren used to watch Jag and thought he can do it too. And it seems the way most of us get into this is we're fans of TCAP. We Google TCAP, want to watch episodes. All this shit about Lauren comes up, and bam, you want to see it again, Precious.
Yep.
So Ember writes him a letter, sends him. This is what his friendship costs: a shirt and some cookies.
Oh shit. We could all be friends with Lauren.
So he calls her back, and for all those wonderful new people who are sending me messages, I am not Ember Infierno. That's the last time I'm answering that question. I don't.
She's not. I can answer. I can attest to she's not.
I don't troll Lorne. I don't call him. I've never spoken to him.
We live on the East Coast. She
Yeah.
lives on the West Coast.
I had a hooker once tell me she'd do anything I wanted for $20. I said, "Bitch, paint my house." So Ember kind of took a lot of heat in the beginning because I don't think anybody understood. And you have to understand how exciting it was for people. I would imagine, like, for 4 years, Lauren was silent, and then all of a sudden, there's just so much Lauren. Like,
And
everybody wondered
haunted.
about what he was doing. All they had was the chat log and and then all of a sudden, Emma is talking to Lauren, and she has to be his friend because nobody knew that he would hang in there no matter what the fuck you did to him. So
yeah.
I think in the beginning, and this was a little bit before I came into the community, and I think in the beginning she took a lot of heat. Ember was a prophet, kind of like Muhammad. Yeah. There wouldn't be any of this without her, and I'm not ashamed of saying I'm kissing her ass. So I couldn't do the shit that she's done. You know, she really has sacrificed a lot for this content. I would have probably put a fucking bullet in my head for about after the 15th hour of listening to this fucking idiot. Yeah, Ember's initial approach to Lauren was to try to inflict as much pain and humiliation as she could on him to punish him for being such a dick and to see if he'd ever show contrition. Yeah, and I've heard her say that she had to put like a lot of kindness out there to him because they were trying to get the uncut footage of the sting, and Lauren had that. And
my question is, why did he just give it to Emma? What did he think would be accomplished by that?
Lauren believed that if we saw the whole thing, that we would
be
understand.
like contextualized.
Yes, he was saying that NBC cut things out, and what they cut out was that ridiculous Amanda James shit.
Yeah.
I really think he believed, maybe still believes, that that we should understand that makes
because
sense.
what Chris Hansen said, so because you were taken advantage of, you're going to take advantage of young women.
Right. Right. I think that was his excuse. He thought if only we understood, then, it's just like this shit with, if only you met me face to face.
Face to face!
And face to face and knew me in person. If you knew me in person.
I feel like if we knew him in person, he would end up punching us in the face. Like, as much as I hate Lauren, he's a drunk and he's pretty jacked. So
yeah, he's like a buff midget.
He's just like a gorilla, basically.
Yeah. And I'm not saying midget. I know people of smaller. I'm a person of smaller stature. I'm saying Lauren's a midget. So, where was I? I lost my train of thought, Precious.
We were talking about Emma.
Okay. So, Emma has this beautiful gift of being Lauren's best friend and his worst enemy at the same time. With that mother-daughter. And I believe, I don't have any way of knowing this. I don't have any inside information, but I wouldn't be surprised if right now, mother-daughter bonded over seeing the literal asshole. We did look at that picture, those pictures.
We did.
Together. We did.
It was, gross, but we also were losing our shit because of his pose and stuff. The pose was like what got me.
Lauren Identity said, I lose my train of thought while talking during stream all the time. I need to have a child so they can bring me back on track during my work streams. Yes, that's the reason. That's why I had Kayla.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck. So, I'm getting to about the time I came in. Let's cover the.
We were like
early.
We were in.
Yeah.
I think early Ramona.
Right. Okay. So
I think right
that,
when Ramona started,
there were a couple of things they wanted to accomplish, and I think from the beginning, Ember stated from the beginning she wanted some kind of recompense for Betty. And
yeah.
There was an interview that Lauren was going to do, and Lauren was. I don't know if he was actually. The story I heard was that people paid for this interview, and Nathaniel took the money. But there was a paid interview. I'm assuming that was the interview with Ethan. It's a little bit before my time. So again, if anybody's listening to this, don't go, you're a fucking moron, Babsby. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Fuck you, Babsby. You're stupid.
You stupid bitch.
Nathaniel pulled a Lord.
Right. Yeah, that's the story that I heard. That
Nathanielette.
That there was like $2,000 or $2,500 or $5,000. There was some amount of money that was put towards this interview that was supposed to go to Betty, and Nathaniel ended up with the money. And there was some sort of dispute between Ember and Nathaniel. I assumed that it was over that money. Lauren did this interview with Ethan. A lot of people send me this link. A lot of the newer people to Lornography send me the Ethan link. And I don't get me wrong, I appreciate when people send me shit that they find on the internet, because a lot of times it's shit I've never seen. But a lot of people send me the Ethan link pissed off because they're like, listen to this pussy with these softball questions. But you have to understand, and I actually like that interview because if you know Lauren, it's entertaining because you know it's all bullshit.
Ethan basically has to appeal to Lauren's ego in order to get any kind of answers from him, because if he starts going, oh well, why did you go to have sex with a child, Lauren will just hang up. He won't cooperate.
They went through these questions beforehand. They went through this whole thing. This is what we're going to talk about. It was to gain his trust. Exactly. Right. It was.
He would have hung up.
And hold on a second. Let me handle my business. Pew pew. So, the interview is actually pretty insightful and entertaining if you understand who Lauren Armstrong is.
It's also interesting hearing Lorne,
Hi,
like,
sir. Good.
it's interesting hearing Lorne talk almost like a normal person because he doesn't. It's not like he raises his voice at
Yeah.
Ethan. It's not like he talks to him in a shitty manner.
Yeah.
He's talking to him like me and you are talking to
Yeah.
each other.
I mean,
It's really
he was
weird to
drunk.
hear.
He was drunk, but I watched that Ethan interview before I listened to all the Lauren calls. Yeah. And if you listen to it before you understand who he is, or you got to have a little insight into him. Emma did the same because in order to get Lauren to talk in the beginning, he had to stroke his ego, pretend they understood
Exactly.
him, and he was famous. Yeah, and Ember had to eat a lot of shit from him, and in a way, she's had to through the whole thing pretend to be in love with him and say. She says things I think if I tried to say them, I would throw up in my mouth. About how good looking he is and how. What did she say one time? And I thought, oh my God, she deserves some sort of award when she said, "Oh, all I can imagine is Lauren on top of me,
Ugh, gross.
grunting," and I was just like, "Oh my God, oh my
Oh
God."
my god.
Yeah, Ethan supplied the forum for Lauren to look shallow and creepy. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a great interview. So please, nobody else send me anything about Ethan. I don't know Ethan. Ethan's not around anymore. But he was not doing that to kiss his ass.
No, he was doing it for a purpose that was beyond what it seemed.
Yeah, Amber got the Nobel Prize for Anthropology for surviving a trip to the failure trailer. You are absolutely right.
She found the missing link.
I really, you know what? She's got all the respect I have to give her for even going there. I would have never been able to do that. I think he's disgusting.
Oh yeah, I would have been afraid to touch anything. I'd be like, well, I have herpes now from touching this.
I mean, they did bring their own cups, which I thought was really funny.
Oh.
Yeah, Emma got attacked a lot. They claimed she was a pedo sympathizer, but she was trying to make him think she was on his side. We wouldn't have the content we have now with Lauren. Yeah, I mean, it's just common sense. I'm going to email you the link, Vaps, just because you told me not to.
You know what? I'm going to do it, too. I'll be like, hey, Mom, look at this.
You fucking assholes. I love you guys so much. I love you.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Once a day, I'm just going to send you.
Send me that fucking link to that interview. I should know better by now. I should fucking know better by now. So then they kind of had a falling out after that. After she accomplished her goals, and I this is how I exactly would have played it. Then you can start having fun. You can start having fun with Lauren a little bit. Mm-hmm. And there's some great calls. I think she wanted to kind of end it. It was probably getting a little tired.
Too much, because remember when she went to the concert and he was just blowing up her phone and she was like, dude, I'm trying to, you're not my boyfriend, you're not my husband, I'm trying to have a fun evening tonight, you're blowing up my phone.
Yeah. Yes, Cade, she actually went to Lauren's trailer. I don't know the whole story about why, but she and quote unquote Dan went to Dan, the man of 1,000 voices, went to Lauren's trailer. Trust is earned, not given. Fucking A right. My channel's year anniversary is coming up. Unlike Ramona. Lauren would call her nonstop. Yeah, I imagine it would probably be exhausting. When you are Lauren's friend, much less his best friend, and Lauren needs constant contact. Mm-hmm. If you're in his life, everything is about him. You have to concentrate your whole life. If he has a problem,
you have to spend 12 hours a day talking to him.
Yes. Everything is about Lauren. So the scenario was created that she was leaving her husband. She stole his car. She stole her husband's car and was
Is it the
driving
one where she was
across.
like high
What's
and
that?
driving all the way to Maine?
Yes, she was driving and paying her way across the country by giving hand jobs and selling drugs. And there is a great call where Emma is getting pulled over by the cops. Pull over! And she's got a pocket full of pills and a mouth full of cum.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
there's
welcome
also,
to the church, Cade. You're in for a wild ride. Oh, exactly.
yeah,
The Emma Otis.
yeah, there's also a great call during that where Crestfallen is the hotel clerk. He plays the hotel clerk. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
where at the motel or hotel or whatever where Emma is staying, and she's running around the parking lot trying to sell drugs or something, and somehow Lauren ends up on the phone with the hotel clerk and is telling him to stop
Oh, yeah,
her.
how he was on TV.
And then they start talking about how Lauren was on TV.
Because Lauren is just like, I'm the most important thing in the world, so
Yeah.
we gotta talk about me.
I don't know where there is a full version of that call somewhere. I've heard it. It's pretty funny. I think he wanted to verify she was going to a hotel. Emma in the white Bronco. Swallow and pull over. That is the greatest call. He's so upset. You're coming here. When she says, you know what? I'm just going to turn around and go home to my husband. And all of a sudden he's like, no, you're coming here. What a dick.
He probably thought he was gonna get some.
What a fucking dick. Where me and mom can take care of you. Like his poor fucking mom is going to have to take care of this.
His mom has to take care of everybody.
Yeah. Come to fucking Maine. It's the closest thing to home you fucking got. That's absolutely right. Yep. She was going to come to Maine, and his mom was going to take care of her. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
So, then, Lauren, this is about the time Babsby and Baby Babs kind of got into the TCAP community a little bit. And I was a lurker for several years before finally making a channel. But you didn't hear anything from Lauren for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, there were these phone calls with Lauren talking to some beautiful, sophisticated African-American woman. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? At least that's what I said. There'd be like these live streams. I mean, this was such a great time, but it was a little exhausting for me just as a listener.
Meanwhile, I was like, hey, Mom, listen to this weird Stanley content.
Oh, yeah. Kayla was so all about Stanley. I'm
still all about Stanley.
I'm a Paul fan. Stanley takes me to a whole other level of anger, to where I want to dig his body up. I want to take a dump on his corpse's face.
He'd like that though.
I want to. Yeah, you're right.
He'd be like,
because I'm a girl.
Yeah.
He wouldn't like it because I'm a girl.
Oh shit, you're right. He'd be like, oh, that makes me soft and unhorny.
That's right. And then I want to bury his corpse. And then I want to hire people, like, I'm going to hire attractive women to dig him up every other day and poop on his corpse's face. I love you, grandson.
He's probably, like, a skeleton now.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know why. Something about Stanley, like, I guess I could just disconnect from it and just be like, haha, it's just a creepy old pedo that they're fucking with. I don't know.
I find the situation funny, and I find the characters around Stan funny. I hate the
thought... But Stanley himself is just, I
hate the idea that Stanley had any sort of happiness or joy, but I understand it. I understand why it was done. It does make me happy that at the end it broke. I know it broke his heart. I can't.
Yep.
I can't imagine that he didn't. That it didn't contribute to his health problems. His sad passing. Remember when...
Ew, I do remember when he
Yeah.
smeared poop on the mirror.
Yeah.
I have that in my Google Drive, actually, for some sick reason.
So, while Kayla was enjoying Stanley calls, I was all in on Lauren and Ramona. But Kayla and I, when they'd have these live streams, you know, for instance, like when the cops came to Lauren's house, I mean, we'd sit up all night. Remember, we'd sit up all night and watch these
Oh, yeah.
live streams. I'm sure plenty of you guys did that as well. And Ramona, this is how I understand the Ramona situation. If anybody has something to add or needs to correct me, do it. Don't leave me some stupid ass comment later. But which means everybody's gonna leave me a stupid ass comment later.
Everybody's gonna say in quotes, stupid ass comment.
Fuck. So Ramona contacted Lauren because she saw his... I guess Ramona, when she wants to date somebody, she doesn't go to like Plenty of Fish or, you know, any of those meetup kind of thing. I don't go on them, so I don't know what the fuck they are. She goes to the sex offender registry pages for the various states surrounding Maryland.
Plenty of pedos.
Yeah, plenty of pedos. So she sees Lauren's sex offender registry picture and says, man, look at this handsome fellow. Okay, Cupid is so passé. The RSO is where it's at.
God, oh my God.
So the story is that Ramona's brother apparently was a commenter. This is the story. Not the reality. This is the story. Ramona's brother is in the comment room of Lauren Armstrong's videos. He gets a hold of Emma at Ramona's request, gets Lauren's phone number. She calls Lauren, and a month later, he proposes marriage to her.
On, I think, Christmas Eve?
Yes. While she was with her family. Or actually, in reality, it was her boyfriend's family. And she says that she initially contacted him because she's in the TCAP community. She was curious about him and reached out to him and was offering him, you know, conversation and friendship. But
when she saw him, she was like, man, I would give anything to have one night with him.
Yeah, Lynn Armstrong is an attractive, vivacious young man. He looks like he's in his 30s.
He looks like he's like 50-something. Like in this picture alone.
Look at him. Doesn't he look hot?
Yeah, I think you look hot.
You look hot. So, of course, and Lauren's even stated this, that men and women can't be friends. You know, you can only have the only time men and women can be friends is if that man and woman are in love with someone else. By 30s, he means he's been dead for 30 years. So Ramona kind of goes with the flow, and I think, to be honest, and I know she didn't say, no, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm your boyfriend. I'm your boyfriend. We never met, but I'm your boyfriend.
You're a boyfriend.
I know she never said, no, I'm not your girlfriend, but I think even if she did, he wouldn't hear it.
He'd still latch on, yeah.
So they would spend, I don't know what she does for a living. Apparently she does a lot of driving. So they would,
Does she drive track?
I don't think she drives track. I was just going to say that. I think she works for stores and drives to different stores. Yeah, he proposed on Christmas Eve. He wanted her to go in the bathroom. Oh,
how romantic.
Because she was with her family.
That's probably more romantic than, like, my proposal story. I don't think anything can top that.
Have you told that?
I have not told my proposal story.
Tell your proposal story.
So I actually was the one who proposed to Mr. Cybersqueak. And we were taking a walk looking for frogs, and I was just like, hey, you want to marry me? And he said yes, so, yeah.
I love you guys. You're so weird.
What? We were looking for
I
frogs.
know. Listen, I've known you your whole life, obviously. But you have to understand to other people the sentence we were out looking for frogs. Yep, she was with her grandma and he got jealous. Yeah. Her 98-year-old Nana was singing, or however old she is, and they were playing Scrabble, and Lauren kept calling and texting, "Go in the bathroom, I have something important I have to ask you." And then,
Remember when Lauren got mad that the doctor was hanging out with her grandma?
yeah, yeah, because he was helping. Um, he was helping Ramona's grandma fill out medical paperwork or something.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean he's. So around month 5 of their relationship, there's these videos.
Relationship.
Yeah, there's these. All right, I fucking drove drunk. I love that. I love that. Um, and Ramona was perfect next step in Lauren's saga, not too confrontational. Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Ramona. They either think, she didn't give it to him enough, she didn't, she stroked his ego, or she didn't say no, or she um but that's I have my thoughts about it, but I mean that was Ramona's project. If I called him, I'd want to do it my way. That's the way she felt comfortable doing it. And the sort of the sense I get from Ramona, from even like if you listen to the breakup call, I think she has a really, even with Lauren, I think she has a really hard time just being a mean person. Even though
Mhm.
she did something like this, I think it was something that started out as maybe legitimate curiosity about him, um, and friendship, because she seems like, to me at least, just the kind of person you could call up and have a friendship with and talk about
Mhm.
silly things, and her veganism and her, she has a lot of things to say about a lot of things.
I think
But
the way she handled Lauren was, honestly, it was perfect as the next step, because he would go absolutely apeshit and she would just be like, Lauren, are you crying?
yeah,
Like,
it was
she
sort
would
of
be very,
like a blank canvas to allow
mhm,
him to be a
to reveal his true
lunatic.
colors.
The face makeup and I mean,
Yeah.
just winding him up and kind of sitting back. It
Mhm.
just bothered me how bad he ripped into her and verbally. Yeah, me too. I wish she would have let him have it. And
I think that's why we got Winnie.
yeah, and I think she had genuine compassion for him. I mean, she seems like a genuinely compassionate person. And she did spend a great, and there are a lot of conversations that were not recorded that they had, and I think she really was trying. I could be dead wrong about all of it because I don't know her, but I think she was genuinely trying to help him.
Mhm.
On the breakup call, Amber is screaming at Ramona to be more aggressive and mean. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Amber was foaming at the mouth, like, get him, and
Yeah.
I think she really had a hard time doing that.
I mean,
Just
I think at the end though, it was kind of worth it when she called him a kitty fucker.
yeah, yeah, I liked that.
That was very
Yeah,
satisfying.
yeah, and they obviously had to have a lot of conversations. It doesn't take a lot for Lauren to fall in love with you, but they did speak for hours and hours and hours, or it was hours of her listening to Lauren drive track and sing. And
Oh, I drove into the guardrail.
oh, I'm gonna sing this song on the radio. Can you fucking imagine 8 hours
Ugh.
of him singing songs along with the radio?
I would have just muted myself and like gone to do something else.
I love you guys and I love this community, but I don't fucking love it that much. I
No, you.
couldn't.
I feel like you. I feel like you would do the Winnie approach, where you'd rile him
Oh,
up immediately to piss him off to get content.
I mean, I'd get sick of his shit quick. Like, we're
Hmm.
done talking. I've blocked you for the night. We'll talk when I'm ready to talk. That's how that shit would go.
And then you'd have like 300 voicemails
Yeah.
that would just have him getting drunker and drunker as
That
the
would be
night went
great.
on.
That would be pretty great. So, about that time, let's see. She lived with her brother, who was really, it was really her boyfriend, but her boyfriend, but they had to, excuse why there was a man in the house. So she lived with her brother. She had a neighbor that was in love with her. Everybody was in love with Ramona.
Yeah, I mean, I was in love with Ramona. Who wouldn't be in love with Ramona?
Who isn't? Even though she's a vegan, I was in love with her. The problem is that if you want to keep Lauren on the line to torment, you have to hold out sexual favors reward for him. Yeah. You have to at least give a little to get a lot.
I think Ramona successfully did that though.
Yeah,
like
she didn't.
Like he'd be like, I'm pretty sure she even said that like he would try to be like sexy, and she'd be like, no, I'm not really feeling that.
When he was trying to come up with something she said that was intimate, like the most intimate conversation, the best he could come up with was her saying that could work.
Yeah, that could work.
I mean, Jesus Christ, Lauren. They all had they were all attractive. They had huge, their junk was huge.
Mr. Underwear model.
Yeah, they were successful.
I could make more money than you if I wanted to.
Yeah, in 6 months I'll make your bank account look like shit, or whatever he said. I mean, they had just finished talking about, how the therapist had a fucking
like a 6-pack
elevator
or something
for his car. I mean, Ramona told him flatly, "You're never going to screw me." Yeah, I mean, she said so many times, and he stopped for a second and said, "Wait, what?"
Mhm.
And just moves on. He forgets what he wants to forget. She told me about her diaper. She loves me. God damn it, you guys. You fucking guys.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So, I think they were in about the 5th month. It was in May when I started hearing phone calls. And I was really confused. I was delighted, but I was like really confused. Like, what the fuck? And the first one I heard was him saying, You don't understand. You control me completely. If you tell me not to do it, I'm not gonna
do it.
Fucking asshole.
He is.
You control me. Fuck you, dude. Jesus Christ. You control me.
He's just a loser.
Ugh. You didn't tell me not to abuse you.
Exactly.
So it's really your fault that I'm abusing you. I mean...
Well, now it's bouncing between 3% and 18%.
What?
You're not a man, you're a tumor, go away.
I know I would. I'd be like, you fucking crybaby, click. What universe does Lauren... And listen, I got no problem with a man being emotional or even crying.
Mm-hmm.
This man, I've heard him cry more than I've heard either of my children cry. I mean...
He's using it as a manipulation tactic.
Yeah, and it's so unattractive. It's so... Just on a fundamental level for me as a woman...
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing more of a turnoff than...
we gotta cut him some slack though. He's raised by mom.
Oh shit. He's one of those guys. I know there's only a few in this world.
I guess we gotta shut the stream down. We were wrong.
Let me shut the stream down. Bye. So I think they ramped up great. There was so much great content. It's all out there. You guys can find it. And it's like they ramped up the torment to where it was just like, call us. It was almost like they were saying, call us out on our bullshit, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
They could have had an alien come down with a huge horse stink and seduce Ramona. I think he would have fallen for all of that.
There was a couple times where he almost fell for it, but then like they managed to talk him out of it.
Chan has Quickville, Lauren has the world.
Oh.
What are we talking about this afternoon? We're talking about the genesis of Lorne and Lornography and where we've
Just the
been and where
timeline.
we're going. It's a discussion for the newer Lornographer.
Exactly.
So, I guess they broke up in August 2017, and after that, I said, I need a break. It was fortunate because there wasn't anything for a while. There were a couple phone calls. Because after that, I said, there's no way Lauren's ever picking that phone up again. And then September and October, there were
he
these
goes.
like 3-hour phone calls between him and Ramona. Those are on the interwebs if you want them.
And they were like after they broke up, right?
After she called him a kitty fucker and told him she was Ramona Quimby based on an 8-year-old fictional book character.
Mm-hmm.
Because even your pretend girlfriend is a child, you kitty fucker. So, I guess a little bit, it must have been maybe August last year. I said, I wonder what Lauren's up to. And I discovered a whole new world, and I had to figure out who Winnie was and who Debbie was and who...
World.
Yeah, it was... Everybody was talking about the new phone calls, and I couldn't find them anywhere. But I said I knew where to go to get answers, and my friend Klaba straightened me out. And he said, for $25... Listen to this. You're not going to believe this. For $25,
you can stop being a so-called cocksucker.
You can hear these phone calls without someone speaking over them. If you don't want to hear somebody talking over these phone calls that you're listening to for free on YouTube,
go pay $25.
On my channel, pay $25 and you can listen to them all you want.
Mm-hmm.
Without
I luckily don't have that problem.
Yeah.
People leave me alone. They're just like, Kayla's playing Doom while she's talking about how much she hates Lauren.
T. Davis, I'm wondering, Kayla, is somebody watching TV or something?
Oh, Mr. Cybersqueak is
okay. I was kind of wondering. 8 voices in the call, only 2 people involved. Time Life Books presents Lauren Armstrong, a 17-volume series that brings back the history and intrigue of the worst person ever. I like hearing your commentary. That's worth the $25. Do you know how much Bud Light and cigs you could buy with $25? Kate,
a whole lot. Actually, probably not a lot.
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
Oh, Charlie.
I am Jack Off.
I am Jack Off. You sound so sweet. So, here's how I understand, and the Winnie stuff is the hardest to understand. Okay. Lauren somehow made up with Emma after this latest stuff where he said she was a weirdo, and he always makes up with her. He always takes her back.
Because he gets lonely.
I think so too. Somehow Lauren was introduced to someone named Casey, who ironically, that's the same name as the decoy from To Catch a Predator, who tricked him into thinking he was meeting a 13-year-old at the house, who liked to sit on the edge of chairs. Now, I'm not saying it's the same person.
But are you?
But Lauren may have been under the impression. Now, I don't think anybody would have told him that, but I don't know. Lauren was maybe under the impression that the decoy from To Catch a Predator, Casey, wanted a relationship with him. I know, David. I know. Lauren believed that the actual Casey Morrow wanted to meet him.
Yep.
I'm just saying, there's no way to prove he was told that.
I wonder how he figured that out.
Only Lauren would, one, think that Casey Morrow would want a relationship with him.
No, I think it was the real Casey.
It really was Casey. I'm just saying, if it were me, I wouldn't want to be associated with someone who would remind me of the worst day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I just... And what reasonable person would say, wow, she saw me on the worst day of my life,
She's interested in me now.
Trying to manipulate and have sex with a teenager. No wonder she's in love with me. Just saying.
Well, I want a kiss first.
Can I have a kiss?
You have a kiss first? I hope you're feeling better. I know you've been having some issues.
I hope you're doing okay. If you're not feeling well, this is Lauren's advice. Point the cam at your penis, not your face. That's what I always do.
Because you look like shit.
Yeah. I look like shit.
I look like shit. I gotta point the camera at my penis.
Such an idiot. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon, but I want to get a little bit through Casey a little bit. This is the part I think people get most confused about, obviously, but Casey had this Valley Girl kind of voice. In fact, she sounded a whole lot like Winnie's sister Debbie. I'm just saying. Morphine's got you feeling pretty good. Hey, all right. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. But you are not anything like Lauren. Jim Rouse did morphine once. Jim Rouse should do a whole lot of morphine at one time. Anyway, so I believe that the idea was this was just supposed to be a quick and dirty troll, maybe get some phone calls, some good stuff. I don't know if they already had this fundraiser idea. I assume that the idea was to get some calls for this fundraiser, maybe make some money for Betty. And it wasn't supposed to be like this long-term...
It's not supposed to be another
troll.
saga.
It was supposed to be, we're going to make him look like a moron for, a month, get some giggles, and that's going to be it. Well, somehow that changed, and Casey, the voice behind Casey, I think they needed to change that situation. That wasn't going to continue. That commitment maybe was up. I can only speak for myself, but so they had to come up with a reason why Casey once sounded like this, but now she sounds like this.
Voice changer. Lauren's favorite excuse.
Yep. So Casey ends up in the hospital. Everybody's always in the hospital for one reason or another.
When you were in the hospital, I loved it.
Emma goes to visit Casey in the hospital. And because, it's just like on MASH, when the doctors would come through and check on the patients, they would pull the charts off the end of the bed. And because it's like that in real hospitals, she picks up Casey's chart and her name isn't Casey Morrow. It's Winifred Pollard. It's all been a trick.
God.
What? So she tells Lauren, she's not really Casey. Her name is Winifred Pollard. I don't know what's going on. And when she comes out of her coma, here's the story. Are you ready?
One of her many comas.
Yep. Here's the story. I was hired by Xavier Von Erck. to make you fall in love with me and make a fool of you or whatever, because Xavier Von Erck is in love with you and wants to punish you or has a hard on for you one way or another. He's going to make you pay because he can't have you sexually.
But then I fell in love with you.
There, you got it.
Yep.
But your charm was so great. I couldn't help but fall in love with you, Lauren. I'm so sorry that I did this. Now, Lauren was pretty upset. But as we know, Lauren doesn't give up easily.
Nope.
He's never going to give up on love. I'm not really Casey Morrow. My name's Winifred Pollard. Nah.
Winnie.
I sound like this because I had a voice changer. But now I'm not going to use my voice changer. I'm going to be real with you.
I'm going to be honest.
Sorry, I just swallowed my water. And I didn't want to go, and have I hear you swallowing.
Are you chewing?
You think Lauren has a low IQ? Really?
I don't know.
I don't know. So, Winnie has a lot of problems. She does coke, which I always thought was really funny. Like, who does... What drug... Okay, I'm trying to find the right way to put this, but what...
Who even does coke anymore?
Right. What hardcore drug addicts, unless you're, you know, Bill Gates or something, who's affording... You're smoking crack, or you're... You know what I mean? Like,
Meth is where it's at nowadays.
Right? So Winnie does a lot of coke, which I always found really funny. And it makes her sound more chic than, you know... She's more classy. At least she's not like doing heroin or, you know, morphine. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But so Lauren, because he's not a hypocrite in any kind of way, you know,
he doesn't like that.
He doesn't want drugs in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before he found out the truth about Casey, just a couple things I want to tell you, because some of the phone calls do cover before he found out she wasn't really Casey. When she was in drug rehab, or, you know, no, sex rehab, she was a sex addict. She was married, she had kids, she's a sex addict. Her dad used to pimp her out and abused her. So some of those phone calls with the ghost, ooh, those are those early Casey calls.
I love the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost. So fucking good. Almost as good as Dan and his jeans.
Dan and his fucking jeans.
Winnie has a daughter named Rhoda who had a baby because she's not very smart, and she's and Lauren got the idea that Winnie had Rhoda when she was 11 or 12, which made me so sick to my stomach. I think she said she was 13 or 14, which isn't great, but Lauren, it was almost like,
from what I remember from the Will call, I think it was like 14.
Yeah, and he was arguing that it was like, yes, son. Oh, it just came in. Oh, you can hang out. Everybody say hi, Nick. I don't even know a Nick.
Yeah, I don't even know a Nick.
You want to say hello? No. No? Okay. He wants to... Stop talking about fucking Dan. The pathetic, penniless, alcoholic, chain-smoking loser looks down upon recreational drug use. I could not have said that any better. I don't want drugs in my life. Glug, 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 glug.
The irony.
Yeah. So, call Emma.
Why does he yell that about, like, in every call?
Because he knows that Emma is always, if he needs somebody to take his side, that's Emma. My 2-year-old plays this game, and it involves running from ghosts. This gave a whole new meaning to when he yells, "The ghost is coming." Oh my god. Oh my god,
Oh,
you're probably
amazing.
dying. Like, it's like, don't say that. Please don't say that.
I have to stop your fun game now.
You what?
I just imagine them being like, listen, we can't play the ghost game
We can't play
anymore.
this ghost game anymore. I'm sorry. I know you love it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, Winnie's got. I think we might have to do another stream just about all the Winnie stuff.
Just about Winnie, yeah.
Yeah. But Winnie's got a daughter, Rhoder. May she rest in peace. And a sister, Debbie, and a brother, Derek.
Ex Derek?
Derek sounds a lot like Klaba. I'm just saying. Oh, he is
I'm just
Klaba.
saying, I'm not
saying.
gay or
Not
anything.
gay or anything.
Wait, what?
And let's see. I'm just trying to think of anything else before we really get into Winnie. Is there anything that I missed?
I don't think so.
How the hell do you get a name like Rhoder? Don't talk about Winnie's boobs. When he shows them to everybody.
My arm is floppy.
Oh my god, that's probably my favorite.
My
Yeah,
arm
I
is
think
floppy.
I think Winnie and Debbie and Tiffany and Gigi and who's
Is
the other
is
one?
Gigi named for Mr. Gigi?
No, shit, somebody told me who it was and now I can't remember. It's not. It's you know how Amber likes to put in her music references?
Mhm.
I think it comes from I think it's a music reference, but I can't think of
I see.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna have to wrap this up because I promised the boy we were gonna do some things today.
But I just got here. I'm making popcorn for the.
We're gonna watch SpongeBob episodes today. I think.
That's fun. I'm gonna play Animal Crossing, so.
Animal Crossing. Why is everybody playing Animal Crossing?
Because it just came out, like in March.
I thought it's been around for a while.
Like a new one came out.
Oh, a new one. I was like, Jesus, Kayla, weren't you playing Animal Crossing when you were like 10?
Oh, do you mean New Horizons or something? I don't keep up.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Nick.
Oh, okay.
What an exciting
Ghost.
game where you get to pay your loans.
Get to pay bills. Ghost hunting with mom. So, if you guys have any questions or need me to clear something else up, leave me a comment before we continue this series on. Kayla and I have this lecture series on the history of Lornography.
Since everybody's doing online schooling right now, we're just like, here's our Lornography 101.
Yeah, I'm gonna put together a nice PowerPoint presentation for everyone because I don't have enough to do at work. What are you working on there, Kel? Oh, just a PowerPoint.
Here's my butt.
What's that picture of that guy's butt in there for?
Listen, it's important.
All right, guys. I guess hopefully I'll see everybody later on Klaba's channel. But if not, we'll talk to you soon. Anything you wanted to say before we go?
I just want to say I love you.
I love you. Quick question. Do you give a fuck about me? Lorne Identity. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Dan lover. This is Dan.
Listen, I care about ass. I want a yes or a no. I don't want to go around answer. We could do that for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great day, Kayla and Kelly Marie Armstrong.
Aww.
I'm so glad you guys could join us today. I wish I could keep going all day long, but like I said, like everybody else, I got things I got to do today too. All right, make sure you delete your archives and
Don't sign out of Yahoo.
Nick says don't sign out of Yahoo, whatever you do. I don't know. He loves that. He loves that line for some reason. Don't sign out of Yahoo. All right. Bye, sweethearts.
Bye.